Hey guys, welcome back to Jason Down Podcast. I am your host, Jaden, and today we're going to be recapping Week 10 here in the NFL season, starting off with the Chicago Bears and their skid since the um, Washington Commanders Hail Mary game. They just have been looking pretty bad since then. Offensively, not looking very well. We'll talk about that. Talk about the Detroit Lions still managing to get a win last night despite Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions. So very interesting stuff there. And just a few other headlines as we get into the new week here. But thank you guys for making this your listen and everything, your watch today, and we appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and also follow us on TikTok and Instagram and X for more updates and things like that. But without further ado, let's get started. So, like I said, the Chicago Bears, they played the Patriots yesterday, lost 19-3, and it was just a very a bad offensive output from Chicago. Caleb Williams took 9 sacks, 9 sacks, yesterday, and the offense just did not look good, and honestly, I can't put it all on Caleb Williams because everybody when you're on a sports team, it's a collective unit. It's everybody plays a part in wins and losses, whether people want to admit it or not. It's all interconnected. It's a symphony. It works like that. Now you may have some instances where in some games a player may be like the really big main reason that a team loses or wins a game, but usually it's especially in a sport like football. All of the moving parts have to be synchronous with one another in order to either win or, all those moving parts have to not be in sync with one another and multiple units on the football team doing bad, which will produce a loss, right? So it's no different here with Chicago. Caleb Williams, not very good game from him, but the offensive line didn't do that much didn't do the best job protecting him. Some of those sacks were on him. Some of the sacks were on the offensive line. Like I said, he took 9 of them. So, it should be probably enough going both ways. Caleb Williams, I've noticed, watching him so far through his rookie year, he's made some great plays and everything. And the Bears actually had a decent start off to the year. Had a rough start off to the year, but then they kind of fixed things going through the week 3 through 5-ish, maybe 6, and then kind of just things started kind of teetering down for them. And offensively, I don't know what the exact issue may be. A lot of people are blaming Matt Eberflus and for just not, just establishing like an offensive identity that will cater to Caleb Williams, right? And his offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, who was previously with the Seattle Seahawks from 2021 through 2023. They hired him here after they fired Lou Getsy, who went to the Raiders and got fired just after 9 weeks. But I really do believe that Chicago right now, they have their quarterback of the future in Caleb Williams. They really do. They believe that that's why they took him with the number 1 overall pick. Otherwise, I don't think they would have. And it's going to take some time. But also he's got to be able to learn how to not hold the football and try to make all these. See, what's happening now is like he's trying to replicate what he did at USC and bring it to the NFL, and you can't do that because obviously you're dealing with you're dealing with professional athletes who are more talented, who are more skilled, who are more experienced at this level of football, and you're not going to be able to sit back there and play, EA College Ball 25 and just dance around and make these magical plays like you're in college, like you were. You can't do that in the NFL unless you're Patrick Mahomes. You're right, but not everybody's Patrick Mahomes. And Caleb Williams has got to understand that. But at the same time, I think the offensive coaching staff has got to do a better job of scheming things to help better tailor around his abilities, right? It's a mixture of different people. It's a mixture of different, problems, that has caused the Bears to have this skid, and it's a mixture of different things. Some of it's on Caleb Williams, some of it's on the offensive line, some of it is on Shane Waldron as offensive coordinator. Again, not scheming, not tailoring to his quarterback. You got to be able to tailor to your quarterback's the most important player on the field. So you have to be able to tailor your offense to be able to match that, right? You got to be able to tailor your offense to match the skill set of your top quarter of your quarterback, and I don't think the Bears have been doing that lately. For reference, the Bears had 142 yards, which was their eighth lowest total in 405 regular season games and postseason games since 2000. Yesterday, that's not good. Also, they've gone 23 drives without a touchdown since that Hail Mary game in Washington, and it's just really like, and even then systemically, it's like not even just the offense, but that even since that play, right? In Washington, when the Bears were not properly prepared for that Hail Mary play, and then Tyreek Stevenson, we all know what happened with that, and so it's like, as a coach, Matt Eberflus has got to figure out, what the exact problems are, and he's gonna have to figure out how to properly address that on his team, and just find a way to get the ball rolling here for Chicago, because they have a talented offense. Caleb Williams came into this team, into the NFL, with Rome Odunze at wide receiver, very, very talented receiver coming out of Washington. DJ Moore, who was established himself in the NFL as a very consistent receiver, a very talented receiver, and also Keenan Allen, who has also been when he's healthy, he's been a very stable and consistent top 15 receiver throughout his career. So I don't think any rookie could have come into a better situation than Caleb Williams. Now, unfortunately, they have just not been able to put that together on a consistent outing. The defense is good for the Bears. They have a decent defense. They really do. Really, the Patriots didn't even do all that much offensively. I mean, they didn't, blow them out. Like I said, 19-3. So the Bears defense did all right for the most part in that game yesterday. Really throughout the year, they've done well. It's just the problem is offensively, and I just don't know what's going on with them. So they're gonna have to figure it out. You're gonna have to figure it out. But like I said, Caleb Williams is a rookie. So, I mean, we'll give him time, right? We'll give him time to get things figured out. But I think Matt Eberflus is on a little bit of a leash here, and his record right now overall is 14-29 as a head coach. So you have to figure that out, right? But that being said, move on to the next point here on the show. Also want to talk about the Lions winning yesterday on Sunday Night Football, despite Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions last night. C.J. Stroud threw 2 interceptions. Jared Goff threw 5. Just, not all of them were his fault. Some were tipped, and one of them though was a bad one on his part. But overall, but still gonna go down the stat sheet as an interception on him. So the Lions didn't even have their best offensive outing, and yet they still found a way to win and win the Houston with a win, and they moved to 8-1 now in the year. And I think it's safe to say that they are the best team in the NFC. I've said this before on a previous Lions video, so I won't go into full detail like I did with that one. But if you haven't checked that one out, you need to watch it. But this team is the best team in the NFC. I don't think there's anybody right now that can beat the Lions. And I mean, I could say the Eagles possibly, but even then, I still don't know. And they went and destroyed Dallas 34-6, yesterday. But that's the Cowboys. I mean, what are we talking about here? Dak Prescott's out for the rest of the year with his hamstring injury, and they're just looking towards next season right now. Honestly, looking at the Cowboys right now, but it's just like the teams that can do that, they can still find a way to win, even when things aren't going as well for them offensively or defensively. When you find a way to just pull it out, you got to just dig in deep, right? Those are the teams that January, February, they win. They're still alive. They're still playing, versus the teams that are sitting at home on the couch. Those are the difference between those two teams. And the Lions right now are as they've been really the last year or so, have established themselves as one of those teams. But especially this year, this is the strongest they've looked in a long time. So that's just something to think about there. And on the other side, the Chiefs in the AFC continue to win. They're 9-0 now after their win against Denver, blocked the kick and stuff, and they were losing at one point. It's just like these teams find a way to win. They just do. The Chiefs, like, they just keep finding ways to win. People want to say it's the refs and this and that. Yeah, we could say they're of course, NFL is money driven. It's a money driven league. It's things are gonna happen. All sports, you could argue, have have strings being pulled, to produce certain outcomes. That's life. So, but we still watch because it's entertainment for us. We love football, and that's why we still watch it. The Chiefs, the Chiefs, look, the Chiefs are a very good football team. Very good, excellent football team. That's why they've won 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, and nobody's been able to beat them yet. As far as like since the Brady led Tampa Bay Buccaneers, since then the Chiefs have not lost in a Super Bowl, and I just don't understand. Like I really don't know. I just all I know is that they just always figure out ways to win. So it's really going to be interesting how the AFC shapes out because honestly, like you got the Chiefs, you got the Ravens who kind of teeter totter right now. I mean, their defense is not that good. Um, their defense isn't that good, which is something that's going to come back to bite them later on if they don't get things sorted out there. The Steelers went into Washington and won yesterday, so now they're what? They're 7-2 on the year, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're 7-2 on the year. After they went in there and the Washington was winning, they came back and went down the field and scored late in the game, and they got the win there. So huge for Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. And despite Justin Fields starting off the year doing good, they made the quarterback change to Russell Wilson, and now he's continuing to win for them. They 3-0 as a starter for Pittsburgh. Everybody's talking about how they made a mistake switching from Fields to Russell Wilson. I was one of them. I thought they should have stuck with Justin Fields, but clearly it's working. They're winning. And that's what's most important. That's what matters at the end of the day, that they're winning football games. So Russell Wilson giving them the best chance to do that. They're going to continue to roll with him. And now they're in the top seed in the AFC. It's really interesting. And then you have teams like the Bengals who are like, if it wasn't for their defense being the way it was, they'd probably be up there too because Joe Burrow's having an amazing year. But unfortunately, the defense for Cincinnati has just been abysmal. And they just have not been able to they just haven't been able to stop many people. So it's like it's really this is going to shape out to be a really interesting postseason right now in the NFL this year. Like I really can't I don't know how the AFC really is going to like. I don't know how the playoff tree in the AFC is going to look, other than the Ravens, possibly the Steelers, the Chiefs. I mean, because the rest of it is like it's we'll see what happens. But overall, that's kind of what I want to talk about here on the show today, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Jay's for Download episode, and we will see you next time here on the show. Make sure you guys check us out here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok, and check out our audio versions of this podcast as well on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. Jay's Fifth Down! So you can find us there on those platforms, and we will see you next time.